struggling now. You can hear it, but look at that runner. Watch his face.
Mouth closed, breathing through his nose. At this pace, it's like he knows something the other runners don't.
Maybe he does. Nitric oxide was declared Molecule of the Year by Science magazine in 1992. Since then, athletes have loaded up on nitric oxide supplements, costing up to $60 a month and taking 90 minutes to work. But you have a hidden reservoir, concentrations 1,000 times higher than in your blood, and there is a way to release it in seconds for free. If your blood pressure keeps creeping up no matter what you eat, if you crash every afternoon around 2, if your workouts feel harder than they should, you're not lacking this molecule, you're just not releasing enough of it. Here's what happens when you get adequate nitric oxide. Blood pressure drops 8 to 12 points in 7 days. Athletic performance improves 8 to 12%. Migraines cut by half. Afternoon brain fog lifts. These aren't from expensive biotechs. They're from a 500-year-old technique that Swedish researchers proved works and almost couldn't publish because the results looked too good to be real. The year is 2002. Karolinska Institute in Stockholm. Researchers placed a sensitive gas analyzer in volunteers' nostrils and asked them to perform a specific breathing technique. What they then measured didn't make sense. Nitric oxide levels spiked to 15 times normal, not over hours, in seconds. The journal editor rejected the paper. Too extraordinary, he said. So they sent video, the analyzer readings captured in real time. The numbers did not lie. They tested 20 more people, same result, every time. What were they doing? I'll show you in 60 seconds, but first you need to understand why this works. Your paranasal sinuses, the hollow spaces behind your cheekbones and forehead, are a storage depot. They hold nitric oxide at concentrations around 25,000 parts per billion. Normal exhaled breath, 5 to 20 parts per billion. That's a 1,000-fold difference, a pharmacy built into your skull. The problem is access. Those reserves stay locked unless something forces air exchange through the sinus openings. Ordinary breathing barely touches them. But when you create resonance in the right frequency range, your skull vibrates. That vibration ventilates the sinuses and diffuses nitric oxide into your nasal airflow. It enters your bloodstream within 2 or 3 breaths. Here's what that molecule does once it's circulating. It relaxes the smooth muscle in your artery walls. Vessels open, blood pressure drops, blood flow improves. That mental fog you get in the afternoon? Usually that's a circulation issue. More blood flow means more oxygen and glucose reaching your brain. For performance, nitric oxide increases oxygen delivery and makes your muscles use that oxygen more efficiently. This is why athletes load up on beetroot, one of nature's richest sources of dietary nitrates. Your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, but that conversion takes about 90 minutes. Humming bypasses the conversion entirely. You're releasing nitric oxide that's already made, already stored, ready to use in seconds. And there's the nervous system effect. Nitric oxide helps regulate the balance between your fight or flight state and your rest and digest state. Heart rate variability, that simple measure of stress recovery balance, shifts in a positive direction within days. The technique to release nitric oxide from your natural reservoir is called Brahmari, the bee breath. Described in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, a yoga manual written more than 500 years ago. The text says to inhale through the nose, retain briefly, then exhale with a steady hum like a black bee. You know it as humming. That's it, humming. For 5 minutes a day. The yogis called it channels opening. Today we measure that opening as nitric oxide leaving the sinuses and entering the air you breathe. The language changed. The chemistry did not. There's another benefit most people miss. In your airways, nitric oxide acts as a natural antimicrobial. It keeps the tiny cilia moving, sweeping out mucus and debris. People who practice nasal breathing and humming get fewer colds and fewer sinus infections. Your nose becomes a better filter. Here's what happens when real people hum. Not in perfect laboratory conditions, in everyday life. A cardiologist in Stockholm was skeptical. He tested the technique on himself before recommending it to patients. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. Over 7 days, his morning blood pressure dropped 12 points. An Olympic distance coach in Norway added humming to his runners' warm-up routine. The goal was to shift athletes into parasympathetic mode before training. Within a month, 3 runners set personal records. The coach made humming a permanent part of the protocol. An executive with chronic migraines tried humming for 5 minutes twice a day. No new medication. Over 6 months, her migraine frequency dropped by 2/3. The most consistent finding across practitioners is blood pressure. 8 to 12 millimeters of mercury in a week. That's what people get from medication without the doctor and prescription fees. Heart rate variability improves 15 to 20% in days. Sleep gets better. Energy becomes more consistent through the day. For 5 minutes that costs nothing and has 0 side effects, these changes are worth testing yourself. Here's the exact technique. Sit tall, soften your shoulders. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Close your lips and hum your exhale for a count of 6. The pitch doesn't matter much. What matters is volume. Hum loudly enough that you feel a buzzing vibration behind your eyebrows and along your cheekbones. That vibration means the sinuses are resonating. That's when nitric oxide releases. Pause this video right now. Try one hum. You'll feel the vibration in 10 seconds and know this is real. Continue for 5 minutes. If you can, repeat in the evening. If you're just starting, 1 session a day is enough. Build from there. If you don't feel the vibration, hum louder or slow your exhale. If your mouth opens, you lose the resonance chamber. Keep lips gently sealed. If you're congested, try a saline rinse first. Humming itself improves sinus drainage over time, but you need some airflow to start. If you feel dizzy, stop. Take a few quiet nasal breaths, then resume more gently. If you have chronic sinus disease or cardiovascular conditions, check with your doctor before adding this practice. Treat it as a complement to your care, not a replacement. Some tools spread through advertising. This one spreads through practice. You learn it in a minute. You share it in 2. No subscription, no refills. Just a technique that works because your body already makes the molecule. Here's how to know if it works for you. For 7 days, change nothing. Each morning, take a blood pressure reading if you have a monitor. Write down your energy level, how exercise feels, whether you hit that afternoon wall. That's your baseline. Then add 5 minutes of humming in the morning and 5 in the evening for the next 7 days. Keep measuring, keep notes. At the end, compare week 1 with week 2. Did your blood pressure drop? Did your afternoon energy levels improve? Workout felt easier. Now you've learned something specific about your own body. No change? Adjust the technique, more volume, longer exhale, or combine it with other parts of the nitric oxide toolkit. Morning sunlight, beetroot juice, nitrate-rich greens. Don't take my word for it. Check your own numbers. Click the link in the description for a printable 14-day tracking sheet. It makes the whole experiment simple. Then share what you find in the comments. Your blood pressure numbers, your workout changes, your energy shifts. Real people, real measurements, real results. The yogis ran careful experiments with breath and attention and wrote down what worked. 500 years later, we can name the molecule and measure its surge in real time. Your sinuses are a pharmacy. 5 minutes a day fills the prescription.